Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm here to share with you my story about 211 in United Way and the Birth to 3 program. 11 years ago, my husband and I were celebrating the birth of our third child. Our son, who came along, was born with some difficulties, and when he was first born, we were uncertain about what they were. We had an incredible pediatrician who saw him every other day for the first few weeks of his life. And at about 4 weeks old, our pediatrician told us that he couldn't see. And we were sitting in the exam room with our pediatrician, and 3 feet in front of me was a sign on the wall for 211. And I asked her about it and said, well, what can this agency do for me and how can they help us? And she said, if you call 211, they'll help you find services for your son to figure out what you and your husband and family can do to help him along. So I immediately phoned 211, who then connected me with the Birth to 3 program. And Birth to 3 explained to me that they would come out and do an evaluation to determine if our son would be eligible for any services. So they came out, they did an analysis on him, they did a great questionnaire, and they learned about my family and our child and what they could do. And he immediately qualified for services, and through that process, they then got our son the help of a special education teacher and an occupational therapist. We learned that Stephen couldn't see and he couldn't suck, and therefore he wasn't gaining weight and really wasn't developing as he should. At the same time, we were seeing several doctors, and we realized that Stephen didn't have the ability to see because he had a learning disability. So he had the retina and the muscles to see, but they needed to teach him how to see. So Birth to 3 came in with a complete program for him, and a few times a week came into our home and taught him how to see. They needed to stimulate his brain, and they taught him how to move the muscles in his mouth so that he could suck and then gain weight and eat and become, like everybody else or all the kids his age. Through 2.5 years of services, week after week, Birth to 3 came to our home, and they always asked us about our entire family. So whomever was in the home that day, whether it be his older sisters, my husband, or I, it was what could they do for us to keep us united. It was never just about our son who needed services. It was really about what could they do for all of us. And every time they came, whoever was home, they also included us in those activities. So through stimulating the brain, we played different games. And if his sisters were home, his sisters were playing the games with him, not just me as a parent. So they really found a way for all of us to stay involved in Stephen's care. And we were very fortunate because at 2.5 years of age, Stephen successfully passed the latest assessment from Birth to 3 and was able to be successfully discharged from the program. And that's an amazing accomplishment because in 2.5 years, they figured out how to get him exactly where he needed to be with all the norms. So he is a mainstream kid, he plays soccer, he's an honor roll student, he receives absolutely no services in the public education system. In fact, we never transferred his records to school when he entered school. He is just like every other kid. And without Birth to 3, I'm not sure where we would have been. It was a difficult journey, and to have a group of people who always came to help us and asked about every single one of us in the home and how to keep all of us together and to get Stephen where he needed to be is just amazing. I'm not sure where we'd be without him.